Okay, I got special messages for Jacquees and Dreezy. It was a real breakup. That is the truth. I know the person that wanted me to do this wanted to know if it was a real breakup. Yes, it is a real breakup. They really, really broke up. Broke up trust, um, disconnected, frustrated. All that is real. There is a breakdown. Um, Let me tell you a little bit about the relationship. It's very karmic feeling. It's very toxic. A lot of egos, of course, and a lot of codependency. Um, when I go to his side, of course, there's a lot of ego here for him. We know that. But it's a lot of insecurities just as much. So there's a 50% bucket of ego and a 50% bucket of insecurities, and together it makes him a problem. That's how it feels. When I go to her side, I really do feel this gentleness and this strength at the same time. I think she is the one who keeps him going. I think she praises him. I think she gives him that acknowledgement that he needs. I think she talks him out of depressed moments. I think she talks him out of giving up. Um, I really do think she's like the super fan more than a lover. Definitely feels that way. She is the super fan. And I think that she pushes him to be great and to keep going and to keep doing new things and telling him he's the best and he's the greatest, because when he makes action, she makes action. So there's this codependency. It feels like um, he will crumble without her influence, and it feels like she'll never start without his influence. So they are definitely lifting each other up and keeping each other going, and that's an individual thing that they need to learn. But it is so much insecurity on his side. I mean, it's like two people inside of him. It's this strong one. It's this one that thinks he's the best and he's great and positive and happy and laughter. And then there's another part of him that doesn't feel great at all. Really low, really sad, really like, don't nobody get me. Feeling like people don't get him, feeling like people don't understand him. He's still trying to understand himself. That this mature level is very young, young spirited, very young. She's a little bit more mature than him. Um, but I definitely feel a very young spirit on him, like a little boy that didn't get enough attention or acknowledgement, or nobody paid attention to him, and he growing up saying, I'm going to show the world, but yet he's sad inside. I also see pills too. They may be doing some pills, which is like almost common these days with artists. But yeah, I do see some pills, and those pills he needs to be very careful with them, especially what emotion he's in when he takes it. But I do see some type of pills. It could be medicine. It could be prescribed. It doesn't have to be a street drug. But I do see pills. And I do see sadness. I do see codependency very, very strong. I do see his young spirit. I see his big ego right next to insecurities. Insecurities of height, insecurities of his weight, wishing he was bigger, wishing he was broader, wishing he was taller. Yeah. I even see some issues with his eyesight. Maybe he wear glasses or something. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. No, when it comes to her, she is like his light. She is like his super fan. She is the one that gets this train going. He takes off though. He speeds it up. He goes to the next level. But she gets it going. She gets it going. Something in her. Very powerful spirit. Very strong. Her issue is that she procrastinates a lot. And he helps her with that. But she's definitely more mature than him in the spirit. Most women usually are. Okay, so there is definitely a breakdown. There is definitely a breakup. There is definitely a third party on his side. He committed the third party. Definitely betrayal, hurt, and pain, and he was sloppy about it. I can see the sloppiness. Very sloppy about it. Why do I feel like this is the worst thing he ever did to her? I know that. Let me put it like this. I don't feel like he's a cheater, but he cheated. Make sense of that. He just don't feel like a cheater to me. He doesn't feel like a serial cheater. How about that? I kind of feel like this is the first time he cheated, or this is the first time he did it in a worse way. It's something about it. This is not his character. That's why I said something is going on with him. This doesn't feel like his character. I'm not saying that he probably wants to sleep with another person, and I'm just saying that it was a lot of lies, and he doesn't seem like a liar. A cheater is a liar. If you tell the truth, you can sleep with anybody you want to. But he lied this time. It's something about this one, or this time, or this is the first cheat. Either this is the first cheat, this is the worst cheat, or this is the time that he lied about doing it or about wanting it. It's a big one. It's a big breakdown. This is a big betrayal. This third party, he does not want the person that he had the third party with. They usually don't. There's no spiritual connection to that person. I got a possible water sign here. It definitely could be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces for sure. For sure. Yeah, broke up the foundation. And it didn't really break up the foundation because they haven't even started a foundation yet. They're still working on themselves. They're still dealing with the toxic, unhealthy behaviors and bondage within themselves. That foundation hasn't even started yet. But the little bit of solidness that they had, and they're like brothers and sisters in the spirit too. They both know that too. It broke that up. It broke it up. This one, I saw something about a window. Maybe she saw this with her own eyes. This one hit her hard, or this hit her hard. He's still trying to take action with her, the lying, the sadness. I mean, he's going on a whirlwind, trying to make everything go back to the way it was. Yeah, definitely got some toxic behaviors he need to release. He doesn't plan to move forward with that third party. And he doesn't even have a plan to move forward with Dreezy as well. He doesn't have a plan for her. Definitely a possible water sign came in conflict. We know he has many options of partners. That's nothing new. But right now, he's just trying to keep his head together. He's not even trying to get back with her. He's not even trying to do that. He's just trying to get his head together. He disappointed himself this time. He actually strived to be perfect, to be honest with you all. He has a perfectionist thing inside of him. He has a spirit too, is woke. And he hurt himself this time. He affected his own feelings. He hurt his own feelings. This is the kind of sorry or apology where the person will be like, I hate that I did what I did. My feelings were so hurt. I was so sad. It's like I. Because that's all I keep hearing is how his behavior hurt him. He hasn't realized how his behavior hurt her and even a third party, if they care. Yeah. Things in the past is causing his behavior. He knows what causes his behavior. He knows exactly what he went through that caused this behavior. He knows he's smart. Don't underestimate him. He's really smart. I can see a big change in him. I can see a breakthrough. I can see a turnaround. I can see him being more respected on a higher level, even outside of music. I see him as wise. I see him having an input and culture. I really do. But not without guidance. And he doesn't allow that around him. She's the guidance. He doesn't have, I don't even see a lot of friends around him. I don't see a lot of men around him. I don't even see a lot of people around him, period. So he had to initiate this. He went out and got this. He don't even be around a lot of people. It's not a lot of people around him. This actually feels like he will be a great husband. He will. He doesn't desire all that people stuff. He just wants power and respect. He doesn't desire all the people around him. So he hurt his own self when he hurt her. I just heard Beyonce, don't hurt yourself. He hurt himself. And he's still fighting with that. So he hasn't even got to the point where he's looking at her to say sorry yet. Even though he probably verbalized it, it's not in his heart yet. It's not in his spirit yet. He hasn't recognized the apology yet. He's still trying to deal with how he broke his own standards for himself. He's beating up on himself about what he did to hurt her, how he can fall. How did this person, this third party, get me? He acting like he was got. He acting like he was seduced. He acting like he need to find out what was inside of that person to get him off his square. He's making me feel like he didn't choose this, but he did. Because he is not around a lot of people. He initiated himself in this way. Why? I don't even feel a rhyme or reason in this one. Because I don't feel any hatred towards his partner. I don't feel any lack from his partner. I just feel like he checked out. And now he got to check back into himself before he checked back into her. I looked at her side and she just glad it's out and over with. She knew it. She knew it. She knew it. She's been watching. She knew it. And this is also a big fear of hers anyway. Sometimes when you think something, your thoughts become things. We know that. And she always been thinking about being betrayed in this kind of way. And sometimes you kind of pull it to yourself and your thoughts. So I'm not saying that this is her fault. I just feel how much she does not want to be cheated on. I can feel like this is her boundary. This is her standard. It's just this anxiety thing that I feel on her before this even happened of just don't cheat on me. I could just hear it. Like, we cool, but I never want a man to cheat on me. I never want a man. And it's just like pulsating in her head. This has been going on for a while. This has nothing to do with him. This is just what she's saying from her mom. This is just what she learned from the women around her. And this been going on in her head forever before she even got to him. And I think that's why she was connected to him, because he is loyal. He was loyal. He was loyal. He was real. He was honest. He was blunt. She was blunt. They are the same. They mirror each other. But what she don't understand is there's a breaking point sometimes. And you would do things outside of yourself, outside of your will, outside of your want. How many times have we heard that? Why do I do the things that I hate? But yeah, that was loyalty here. So she happy that the truth is out. She's happy it's out. She hates it. She hates what happened. She hates that she was betrayed. But she glad the truth is out. Things is definitely not right. She's not kissing his butt. She's not even thinking about getting back together at all. This has affected her soul, her loyalty, and her trust. Because he was worth trusting at one time. She conflicted about even if she should be friends with him or not, because he is her friend. She actually left her family for this one. And I'm not talking about that being physically, but she turned away from their ways and locked in with him. She's conflicted on even if she should be a friend because of the disappointment and the betrayal. Now, this is where things get tricky. They're young. And I told you before, they mirror each other, so this cycle can go on for a while until rock bottom just tears them apart. He's focused on himself, trying to make himself feel better and not so much of justify, but he's trying to self-heal. So his conversations with her will probably be like, you ain't got to hate me like that. I have had some good. And that's how I felt when I read them too. And then when I look at her, she went up on her standards. She got some ultimatums for the next round. She's preparing for his return or preparing for any lover. And she got some stakes in the ground. She got some serious stuff that she wants. If he comes back to her, and I don't even think it's an if, I think they are going to rekindle in some kind of way. They probably got about 4 more turns of this, unless they break the cycle now. But they set up to do this 4 more cycles. They got 4 more cycles of this. That's what the setup is for them. It's up to them. So this time she wants marriage. And she won't change. What kind of change she won't, I don't know. But it's something she wants to change. It could just be some unhealthy things that they do. Maybe she wants him more in a clearer mind. I want him more in a clearer mind. She wants marriage. She wants a ring. I wouldn't be surprised if we hear that they got back together and he proposed and gave her a ring. They're engaged now. She turning it up a notch. But see, that's the thing about these two. They're still growing and learning themselves. Because the only reason why she would get back with him and want the ring or want the marriage is because that would be like giving him a punishment. She'll be serving him. And it feels like some kind of way she has to be justified in this. So to be justified, it will be the ring. That's not love. But that's the learning lesson of love. What's next for them? I see them taking a rest from each other. They're strong enough to separate. I see them taking a break from each other. I see them back and forth trying to justify things through messages, through text. They both know that they're friends. That's what they're going to realize, how much of friendship that they have, how much happiness that they have with each other. When it's time for them to take care of their business, they're going to want each other is what I'm trying to say. It's like a drug. When it's time to do work, when it's time to move forward, when it's time to have a new goal, when it's time to get into action in their careers, doing something that they fear to do but they love to do, then that's when they come back and tap in. They're going to get back together through encouragement, through encouraging each other. And I see them creating a relationship again. I really do. I see them tapping back in again. You will have to be very, very wise to know that this is tragic. You have to be very, very wise to know that he really needs to learn how to see himself and his fault. She will have to let him see that for him to grow. Not pampering that, not allowing him to come to himself. She would need to allow him to see why he wanted to break away from reality. How did he let go of the great things about him and turn into something else? Something to do with this medication, this pill. I keep saying pills. She would need to understand that she's not making him great, but enabling him. You know, takes a lot of strength to see all that. So both of them, if they're able to see that they are no good for each other in this season, in this part of life, then they won't get back together. But if they never look in, find themselves and heal, which usually don't happen around this age. They will take a rest from each other, and they'll spiritually be wanting each other and hearing each other. I can see it. They can hear, they can feel each other's spirit. They'll start connecting right there at the soul tie. And as soon as it's time for them to do individual action for themselves, they reaching out to each other. They will encourage each other and lift each other up. And then I see them trying to create the relationship again right after that. She is the kind of person that say, you're a knucklehead, but you better do a good job. That's her. He the same way. They are the same. The stakes will be higher next time. She will get the engagement. Alrighty. Bye-bye.